So it's January, it's cold outside, and we're ready to go fishing. We've been sitting in the house a long time. We're going to head over to the Alabama River, especially the Mobile Delta area. This area is 260,000 acres and covers a 40 by 10 mile area and is the second largest watershed in the United States. And let me tell you what, this place is a phenomenal catfishery. Over the years, Alabama has done a tremendous job with implementing regulations on the catfish, a one fish over 34-inch limit, and since then the catfish population has exploded. And we're going to head over there. It's always been one of my favorite places to fish. I grew up fishing over there with my granddad, watching them catch 70 and 80 pound catfish. So this is just a great place to go catfishing. We're going to get everything ready. We're going to head on over there. But first, we got to make a stop at the bait and tackle store. We got to go in here, grab us some worms, and we got to go bluegill fishing. Bluegill is going to be the ticket bait tonight. We're also going to try to get some gizzard shad while we're there, but using small little hooks. We're just going to catch as many bluegills as possible, specifically smaller bluegills. We don't really need a lot of big bluegills to do what we're going to do here, so we're just going to be looking to catch any bluegills we can. Small ones, big ones. We'll take big ones if we got them, but it doesn't matter if we're catching a lot of small ones. So we're just going to try to get 50 to 60 bluegills, 50 to 60 nice ones, fill our live well up, and then we'll be on. 9.
That's what we're looking for.
Let's try over here by the truck first. We're catching them real big ones.
Yeah, come on. I'll get the bucket.
We got a makeshift cooler in the back of the truck, so we're just going to dump all these bluegills in. This time of year in the winter, we don't need any kind of aeration system. The baits will be fine. Grabbing our rod and reels, we're going to load the boat and we're going to hit the road. On our way to Alabama River, we're heading west. We just happened to encounter a bit of a traffic jam. Of course we're going to hit a traffic jam when we're in a hurry. I don't know what was going on, but it did delay us a little bit, but it didn't delay us too long, and we're back on our way. Pulling into Cliff's Landing on the Mobile Delta, we noticed that there's not a lot of boats in the parking lot, which is a great thing. There's a few boats out there, but not a whole lot of them. By the time we got back to the ramp that night, there were no more boats. Launching the boat using my Altera makes things very simple. I don't need anyone in the boat. I can just launch it all on my own. Yes, the risk is there of the iPilot not working one day, but we're ready to take that risk. We're just going to load on up. Once we get in the boat, the first thing we're going to need to do is transfer our baits from our makeshift well into our live well. Now these baits have been in this live well right now for over 2 hours with no oxygen on them, and they're just fine, just as hardy as they could be. So we're going to take all these baits, we're going to put all these baits into the live well, get everything in there, get them all in there. We've got a big live well. We'll have plenty of room for live bait and catfish in this big well. There you can see all of our bluegills just as happy as they can be. So many of them. Look at all those bluegills. That's a good night of fishing right there. Now, Alabama River has a lot of history behind it. You can see some of these old barge pilings and piers. We've caught catfish right underneath those. But the banks, Alabama River is a phenomenal catfish river. You can see the steep banks. Every spot along this river has the potential to hold catfish. We're pulling into some of these 20 and 25 foot holes, and sure enough, there they are. The catfish are stacked up in them, and they're ready to go. You can see right here up on the surface, we're getting a lot of big blue cats swimming around on the top. Down on the bottom, those are actually flatheads off on the edges. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up on top of these fish, and we're going to put some baits down there and see what we can't do. Man, what a great day on the river, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
Out here on the Alabama. Beautiful day. January.
60-something degrees.
60-something degrees out here. Couldn't ask for a better day. I'll show you what I'm using. Hey, Brad. It's got these little floats on here, little demon dragons. I'm just gonna take a piece of this gizzard shad here. Now gizzard shad are one of my favorite baits to use. I just like to cut the head off, cut the tail off. You can see that gizzard shad, he's still alive and kicking. Now I've got a Teamcatfish double action hook in the red with a lighter wire, a 9/0. I'm just going to hook that bait right through the nose. You can see right above there I've got a demon dragon rattle. I'm really starting to favor those demon dragons. We'll put that bait right out on that ledge. I don't have to cast too far, that ledge is right there behind me. We'll grab another one. Reaching the live well, grabbing another fresh gizzard shad. Now guys, we ended up starting out with some gizzard shad because we wanted it to wait a little later for the flatheads to start coming out of their resting stage, which we probably could have caught them in the daytime, but we started with a few gizzard shad, and honestly, we didn't have much luck with the gizzard shads. I don't even think we had a single taker on the gizzard shads on this trip. All the baits and all the bites and all the fish were coming from bluegill. You can see there, that's a perfectly hooked gizzard shad right through the nose. That's our demon dragon. Now before we get started fishing, it's time to put some meat on the grill. We got some hamburgers in the cooler. We're just going to grill us up a couple of burgers. We've already put a few fish in the live well when the big blue decided to hit. Now guys, the fog started rolling in so thick, it got to be almost impossible to film. Now, I feel real bad that we didn't get more of the catfishing on video, but the fog just got to be so dense that we could barely see the bow of the boat. But we did manage to get some of the bigger blue on film. The blue cat weighed, we don't know what the blue cat weighed, we didn't weigh the blue cat, but he ended up being 44.5 inches long, you know, somewhere in the upper 40s range. Not a real big blue cat, but we'll take it. Now look at that blue cat. Now guys, some people will say you shouldn't hold a big catfish up by the grippers, but I don't believe there's any merit to that. People's been holding big catfish up all forever in the same fashion with no problem. You can see that double action hook was right there in the corner of his mouth, right where it's supposed to be. We threw the blue cat in the well for a little bit to let him catch his breath, to let him blow that air out of his gut. You can see some of the other flatheads that we've got in there with him, but this blue cat right here, he's such a big guy. Look at those pecs. I mean, these pecs are wider than my hand is long. We've got some flatheads in there, but we don't want to keep him in there too long. Once he catches his breath, we're just going to put him back in the river and throw some of these flatheads back with him. So we've drained the well down to check what we've got. We ended up with 14 other catfish other than the big cat. So it's time to start putting some of these fish back in the water. This big blue cat, he was ready to go. After a little while in the live well, he caught his breath and he's ready to go back home. Now we did end up taking some of the smaller flatheads home to not only eat them but to put them in the freezer, because it is February. We like to acquire some of our fish in the winter time, so that way throughout the summer we can just primarily catch and release. But this is the time of year where we try to put a few fish back in the freezer. You know, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to come down and come fishing with me, go to my website at www.cathunters.net. Come on down here and fish with us. We'll go over here to the Alabama River and I'll take you around and show you all about it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll make some more videos in the future.
Spend my days in a lazy boy in a mansion on a hill, or catch a fast train straight to New Orleans, or a slow ship down to Cozumel. I could waste away my spare time watching football with my friends.